Let's make miracles happen. Let's make miracles happen. There was a dark night in
Hello, Adrian. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
How is
Welcome,
my
welcome.
how is my audio? Is my microphone close enough, or should I pull it up closer?
It's kind of echoey, but I can hear you just fine.
All right. Better now?
Say something?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, much better. I
I
love
had
it.
to I just had to pull it up a little closer.
Such an easy fix. I love easy fixes.
Yeah, that's great. All right. How
Now
are
that we have
you?
you on board, I don't want to take up any of your time, so I'm just going to allow you to introduce yourself, tell everybody what you do, and it's all yours.
All right. I will get started. So, yeah, thank you, Adrian, for hosting and having me at this event. So wonderful that you're doing this. How to heal your heart and transform all of your relationships. This is maybe one of the most central issues that we all have in our life, anyhow, all the different types of relationships, like before talking about money and of course with our family, with friends, with work, with ourselves, not to forget that, very important. How is our relationship with ourselves? And of course, love partners. So I'm going to talk to you about today shamanic soul retrieval. My background is in shamanism, calling back parts of yourself, parts of your soul that you actually lost in relationships. And we'll also do a meditation. And before I get into all of this, I'll tell you just briefly about myself. So my name is Lisa Biritz. I've been working with and teaching shamanism for over 20 years now, and been on the path for over 30 years. And I've written numerous books. My most recent book here, I hope you can see it, Shamanic Soul Retrieval, Calling Back Lost Parts of the Self. Its publisher is Inner Traditions, and it will be available in March. And I'm also a mother. My twins are now 16, and you can read more about myself and my work on my homepage. It's lisarainbow.com, lisarainbow.com. Yeah. So, as the title of my new book, Shamanic Soul Retrieval, already says, it's about calling back lost parts of ourself, lost parts of yourself that have been dissociated or left you in various painful situations. So before we even get into relationships, just to give you an idea, this can leave you, soul parts can leave you from everything from surgery to mobbing. Yeah, if you had to deal with mobbing in school or in work. And then, of course, also in relationships. That's what I'll be focusing on today. So to give you an example, so you get an idea of what I'm talking about, you might be separated from somebody for years, maybe even decades, but the other person or you yourself is still holding on to soul parts of the other person. There's still something that's not released, or they're holding something from you. And this leads you a lot of times to not being able to enter a new relationship or a fulfilling relationship. Or you might be in a relationship currently, and the other person or you are holding on to parts of the other person. Why we do these things, I'll explain a little later on. But this in current relationships leads to very difficult, unhealthy, and even toxic relationships. So first of all, why do soul parts leave you in the first place, your soul parts? So I already mentioned the word dissociation. This is what it's called in modern psychology. And in shamanism, it's called soul loss. What shamanism is, I'll tell you a little later. And parts of our soul leave us or dissociate when we have absolutely no possibility of changing or healing a painful experience or processing it. It's just too much to deal with. And then parts of the soul literally split off and leave. And this leaving and finding a safe place where fragments of our soul can no longer be hurt, traumatized, is a lot of times the only strategy that we humans have left to protect ourselves, because we don't learn how to deal with conflicts at school or in college. We learn it, if we were lucky, if we had wise parents or family, and then we learn it in courses, places like this. Little by little, we figure out slowly what we need to do to become healthy again, to become whole again. And what's interesting, when these parts of your soul dissociate or leave you, a lot of times the memories of the painful event also will leave. And when you bring back the soul parts, the memory will come back, and then you'll be able to process it and heal it. So that's a reason why a lot of time why people who are very traumatized cannot remember stressful events at all, or only like very shadowy. So over time, bigger and smaller parts of our soul's energy leave us. But the good thing is that these parts of us do not disappear, because theory of relativity, energy can never disappear, but they travel to another place or another dimension, or sometimes they're even very close to us. It all depends what is happening, and they just split off of our energy field. So when parts of your soul are missing, what are the symptoms? Typical symptoms are you feel dull, you feel incomplete, you feel like you're lacking in essential life energy. You're going to the fitness studio, you eat healthy, you live healthy, you sleep well, you don't drink a lot of alcohol, all the things we're supposed to do, but still you're feeling exhausted, tired, incomplete. And from a shamanic perspective, it's because very important parts of your soul have at some point split off with those qualities, whatever the qualities are: trust, love, faith, joy. And consequences lead even on. It can range to fatigue, depression, illnesses, chronic illnesses, addictions, personality disorders. So this is all a result from the shamanic healing view, when parts of our soul leave us. And a lot of times we'll have the feeling, if this is the case, that you're kind of functioning on automatic pilot, like you're being lived, but you're not really living yourself. So usually these parts of the soul do not return on their own unless you do healing and awareness, which is what we're doing right here, what you are doing, which is why we're all here in this, doing this together. So shamanism, maybe, I'm guessing quite a few of you have maybe never really heard about it, or only have a very vague idea of what it might be. So shamanism exists everywhere on our planet. Shamanic practices have been passed down orally for 45,000 years and are considered among the oldest forms of healing on our planet. And they developed from laws of nature, observing, learning, practicing, and are practiced by all indigenous cultures. And we know that the indigenous culture background is about living in balance with the natural part of the world in which we live in. So we don't consider ourselves separate or like the crown of existence, but we're a natural part of that. And with these healing techniques in shamanism, they're the same pretty much everywhere on the planet, which is fascinating. One of them is soul retrieval. We work in the invisible world, or the soul world, or the matrix, the energy behind everything that is, and we heal ourselves to live in harmony with existence. So shamanic soul retrieval is one of these methods that is used in indigenous shamanic culture to bring back lost parts of yourself. And to give you a more visual concept, you can imagine your soul as a luminous sphere of light. Yeah, it's like a glowing ball of light, and it gives you vitality. For example, in Hawaiian Huna shamanism, I lived in Hawaii for many years and still live there frequently. I'm kind of stuck in one place at the moment until my kids graduate from high school, which won't be much longer, but I'm happy with that. So we lived in Hawaii for a long time, and in Hawaii, in Huna shamanism, they describe the soul as a bowl of light and life. So my book, Shamanic Soul Retrieval, is about all different aspects of soul retrieval, but now here I want to focus on relationships. So entanglements and dependencies and what you can do to release that. So other people can literally hold on to parts of your soul, and you can do that as well, vice versa. And this happens pretty frequently. It's very common, especially with people who are close to us, parents, family members, friends, partners, colleagues, even at school if you're a teacher or university. And it usually takes place unconsciously. It's not something that people generally focus on doing on purpose. It's very passive, and it happens through a person's thoughts, because we're all energy, we're all connected through energy in the morphogenetic field. And to be honest, all of us have at some point already taken parts of another person's soul, or have had obviously parts of our own soul taken away. It's easier to say, feel like, oh, somebody took part of my soul. It's harder to admit that we also have, each of us has done that at some point. The reason why somebody who steals or takes soul parts from another person is because you are lacking soul energy in yourself, and you think that the other person has what you need to feel good, to feel alive. So it's basically out of jealousy or out of neediness, because you are lacking certain parts of your soul energy yourself. That's just the way it is, and it's okay. It's just about being aware of this, that we do this, that others do this to us. A typical example is a former partner who just does not want to let go, holding on to parts of our soul. Extreme example, of course, is somebody who might be a stalker, but that is not the typical common day experience. But nearly everybody has been in some type of a relationship where the other person just didn't want to let go, or we ourselves did not want to let go, because you feel like you cannot live without the soul energy and the vitality of the other person. So both directions. And the other thing that we do, which is very common, is that we give up parts of our soul voluntarily, because we are convinced another person needs us, needs our help, needs our love, needs our whatever. So this is the helper syndrome. Occurs in all types of relationships, love relationships, but also parents who are just too much on top of their kids, you could say, doing and giving too much. And then, of course, there's soul contracts between people where there's unspoken agreements and obligations according to what each person should fulfill in the relationship due to the other's lack. Yeah, typical example, one person makes the money, the other person is in charge of friends, all the emotional things, balances that out. And this in the long run just can create a lot of imbalances if it is in an unhealthy way. And these kind of soul contracts even happen they start at pregnancy, at birth, entanglements in families, expectations, agreements, and they even go back to previous lives. So, to let go of soul parts that do not belong to you, or to get them back, luckily, once you are aware of the dynamics and the energy behind it, a lot of times it's enough to simply know it. Awareness, just awareness, simple awareness. You're like, aha, okay, I'm doing this again, or I feel it from that person. So, and sometimes, however, you have to do more focused healing work with somebody who does shamanic soul retrieval or other type of healing work. And we're also going to do a meditation in a little bit. And once you release and return another person's soul part, the energy between you becomes a lot clearer again. It really balances out relationships, and they generally just improve what was difficult before. And another good thing is, once you're aware of this process, is that how this works, entangled dependencies, nobody can do this to you against your will anymore. You just realize, you understand it. So I would do a meditation now with you where you have the chance to be aware of somebody who is still holding a part of your soul and get that back, and also vice versa. We're going to start with one part and then go to the other part. And for this, I'm going to start some music here. Just give me a moment here, and in the meantime, you can get comfortable. I have to do this screen sharing thing here. So now, let's see. It's not letting me do this. Let me see if it works this way. So, can you hear the music? Maybe somebody can give me a thumbs up. Great, you can hear it. Wonderful, it worked. Yay, I'm always so happy when I manage to do this. Okay. So lie down, sit down, whatever is easiest for you to just relax. And close your eyes.
The music is barely audible.
Barely audible?
Yeah, people are saying it's faint, and I can't even hear it.
Okay.
Did you share sound?
I did.
Okay. So
Let
you
me
might
try.
just need to turn it all the way up.
Yeah, maybe I did share the sound, but maybe not. It's the way I usually share it, it wasn't working here for some reason. So,
Try it again.
yeah, I'm gonna go out again. Okay. So I was trying to get into the expanded. Now it's working, yeah. That for some reason I wasn't able to click that before. Can you hear it now?
Much louder. Beautiful.
Good, good. Yeah, that one thing for some reason now it worked. Great. Okay. Is the volume okay? Good. Then we'll just get started. So close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And become aware of a person who is still holding a part of your soul. Now, several people might show up at the same time. That doesn't matter, just pick one person now. You can repeat this later, anytime you like. And be aware of this one person where you feel like they're still holding a part of you. Former partner, parents, whoever shows up. And you'll feel this missing soul fragment that they're holding, and you might feel a certain tightness in your chest, or a sadness might come up, or a frustration, resentment, or powerlessness. And sometimes you'll even see people who are very visually inclined. You might even see yourself, a part of yourself, with the other person where they're holding on to it. And now imagine talking to the other person. So what we're doing here is obviously a shorter, very short, condensed version of soul retrieval, but just meant to give you an idea of how it works. And you can take your time on your own then to do this much longer. And you imagine talking to the other person and you tell them 4 times, "I'm not at your disposal anymore." Or whatever the sentence is that shows up now for you. "I'm not there to make you happy. It's time for me to come home to myself, to make myself happy." Whatever the sentence is that shows up for you, you repeat it 4 times. And then you sense or visualize how your soul fragment returns to you. You can embrace it and say that it's welcome, that you're so happy that it's home with you where it belongs. You can ask it, what does it need from you so that it will stay with you? Yeah, it might say, for example, please get rid of any objects that remind you of the person that was holding on to me. Or it might say, get a different mattress, get a different bed, move to a different home, whatever, anything might come up. What does your soul part need from you so that it will stay with you? And what quality did it bring back to you? You can ask it. What is the quality that left? For example, it might be trust, feeling deep love, joy, just welcome this part back. And now, because we don't have a lot of time, like I say, you can repeat this. Now be aware of a person whose soul part you are still holding. You might be able to notice this by feeling a longing or a pain when you think about a certain person, like somebody you really miss. And this can also be somebody, by the way, who is already deceased. So we work in all realms in shamanism. You become aware of who that is, and then you release that part of their soul. You might see it now, the part that you're holding. You breathe it out with a powerful breath and you say, I let you go now in peace. You do this 4 times altogether. I let you go now in peace. Thank you for our time together. Time to move on. I let you go now in peace. Yeah. So, and I have to wind up this meditation now because my time is up. I don't want to block the next person. And I'll show you here for a moment my free gift where you can, where's the screen sharing? Here we go. Here it is. You should be able to see this now. So this is the link for my free gift. It's from another book of mine, The Opening, and it also includes chapters about love and shamanism. So 48 pages from that. This is the link, lisarainbow.com/gift.php. And my new book, Shamanic Soul Retrieval, Calling Back Lost Parts of the Self, available in all bookshops. It's published by Inner Traditions. It'll be out in March. And this is again the link for my free gift to you. And I would just like to say thank you so much. Thank you to Adrien, and I wish you all the best for clear and light and joyful relationships.
Thank you so much for joining us today. That was awesome.
I'm sorry there's not enough time for any questions and answers now, but I'd love to read the chats.
I think people got a lot out of that. A lot. When I was reading the chat, I saw a lot of people were filled with understanding. Like, that's why I feel the way I feel. So that's pretty incredible. And her free gift link is actually in the chat, so you can go click that and get that free gift now. Calling back parts of the soul. I have witnessed take care of a lot of mental stuff that people were going through. So I know how powerful it is. And I think, can people contact you if they want to do more?
Yeah, they can always contact me over my homepage. Okay. And awesome. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys are interested in soul retrieval and learning more about that, you should definitely get the free gift and then reach out. I'm telling you, it's an awesome thing.
Thank you, Adrien.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for your work, and all the best, everyone.
Let's make miracles happen. Let's make miracles happen.